All right, we're live on Facebook. And we're also live on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. It's time for a live highlight. And you heard my guest is Chris Malachi. The buyer you locked door. That buyer here is on the pistol. Lord have mercy. Me just have to say, etc. Now, Chris Malachi, born into a musically gifted and spiritually rooted family, is a Jamaican artist whose name reflects his purpose as a messenger through music. Growing up in Stony Hill, St. Andrew, he was immersed in church life, learning piano, singing in the choir, and observing the musical excellence of his father, uncle, and other influential musicians connected to the church. These early experiences shaped his understanding of music as both ministry and art. He matured. Chris developed a passion for songwriting, poetry, and diverse musical styles, eventually performing one of my favorite genres: jazz, roots, reggae, and more during his time at the University of the West Indies. His professional journey accelerated when he began collaborating with renowned producer JLL, leading to his debut EP titled The Messenger in 2019. Now, he continued to release impactful projects such as Ball, Fireball, and Everything Cool, as well as the collaborative anthem We Move. In 2023, Chris expanded his creative vision with Work and Play, a project and live show emphasizing the balance of creativity, discipline, and continuous learning. His more recent work, including Graveyard Shift, Diamonds, and We Move the Victory Lap, signal his commitment to delivering honest, soulful reggae music. At the core of Chris Malachi's artistry is unwavering authenticity. He believes that an artist's primary duty is to express truth and reality, using music as a vehicle for introspection, connection, and meaningful exchange. Yeah, not just meaningful exchange, but also meaningful change. Inspired by artists like Chronix and Mortimer, he continues to craft music grounded in honesty, aiming to leave a lasting impact through genuine human experience and heartfelt expression, etc., etc., etc. Help me welcome to a live highlights, Chris and Malachi. Good afternoon to you, Chris. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I am good. It's good to have you on here. How you doing? You say you're good. So,
I,
and that is good.
I'm good. I mean, it's been a productive day so far.
All right.
And
Nice, nice. Now let me ask you this first question.
so we're on air. We're going. We're live.
Yeah, man, we're live on here on everything
All
already.
right. Good morning,
Mhm.
Jamaica.
Good morning. Where are you? It's
I'm
morning.
in, I'm
You're
in
in Jamaica.
Kingston.
Oh,
No, but
you're in
I'm right here. So,
some morning over there, so
hmm?
it's okay. It's morning over there.
Of course, every day is morning. But anyways, what's your first question?
My first question is, who discovered this talent, this gift, this musical gift?
Who discovered it? What you really mean by that?
Externally, your mother, your father, probably you. You're in the shower singing.
Um, I would say my parents first discovered a talent for music, but at first it wasn't singing. Um, Before singing, it was playing the keyboard. When I was a child, they realized that I could learn to play songs that they would sing in church. I would kind of remember the melody and learn to play it at home. So that was my first exposure to music, and they would take me to piano classes and stuff like that. But as I got older, the singing part of it was actually very unlikely because I was very shy, very reserved. Nobody knew I could sing, and except just a core group of friends at school.
You
And
were
I
shy?
joined extremely, like only four people knew me at school for most of my high school years, until I joined a singing competition, um, with my friends convincing me, and I won that best talent, and that was when people started to realize, and I started to realize that I could sing.
Okay, you started to realize at that moment. Okay, so you say you were nervous, you're shy. How did you deal with the nervousness? So you muscled up and you say, "All right, I'm going to enter this competition," and ultimately winning it.
Well, all of my friends convinced me. It was a thing where it's like, okay, all of us go join, you know, and so that gave me some company. But I remember specifically on the day what gave me the courage. I realized from that early time out that the only way I could perform was if I was just very sincere about it. I just had to close my eyes and just really sing from my heart. And that was the only way I could get through it. Because otherwise, I would just be focusing on everybody up there and what mistakes I could make. And that's what would make me freeze up.
Oh, so you close your eyes. That's how you
Tight, tight, tight.
so, until the end of the song, though.
Until the end of the song.
Oh my word!
I mean, I'd have to get through it some way.
Well, you got through it. Now, Chris, you grew up in a home where music and faith were deeply intertwined. What is one childhood memory that really shaped your love for both Jesus and music?
Hmm. I mean, it's hard for me to pinpoint one moment, but I just know growing up, it was always really connected, because you know my family would be playing in church and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and at first it was just a, I guess a bonding exercise because that was the way for me to get closer to my cousins and stuff like that. I think just as I grew older, I started to understand the connection and just the power that music holds in terms of encouraging people in the faith. But I think I started to realize that when I was around 14, and started to want to learn how to message myself in the music. you know that's when I started to understand some kind of importance of being intentional about how I carry myself musically and what I would want to portray.
Mm. Your family was also heavily involved in church ministry. How did watching your father lead the choir or seeing your uncle minister influence your own spiritual walk?
Um, you know what it was? I think it was their humble approach to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned that the ministry is really more about serving because, say for instance, so like both my both my dad and my uncle on his side of the church, they both do separate annual concerts every
Mm.
year at the church.
Okay.
And so I grew up with my dad. He still does it. He's in Manchester every weekend. I grew up watching him go to choir rehearsals in the week, coming home, dropping home people in Maypen and then Portmore and then stuff like that, coming
Wow.
home and then going back to work the next day and then going back to Manchester. So from that time and just seeing him do it over and over, I realized that even more than just the lights of it, that music is a real ministry of giving and stewardship and really helping people along the way. And that's the power of it. I mean, I remember just having early talks with my dad, and of course sometimes he would open up about just it being difficult sometimes and just the frustrations that come with it. But then he would always say, "But me I do God work still, and that would always keep him going, and it's still keeping him going to this day. So I just
Mm.
always understood that from the day that I make a decision to be a musician is really about the meaningful work of it.
Yeah, wow. Do you remember the first time you realized that music wasn't just a hobby, but a calling from God, Chris?
Yeah. You know why these questions are so hard to respond in terms of like a specific event, because it's been so long on the journey. Okay, so it's like looking back, I can just remember it as like a gradual thing. But I remember music always being a very strong thing weighing on my heart.
Mhm.
Because as I said, I grew up very shy, very reserved, um, and it wasn't the first choice. Like I wasn't the one people would pick out of the crowd and said that guy is going to be a singer someday. I was way back, but from that I had that calling on my heart, and that's what I identified it to be, a call from God, because no matter what I tried to do or to escape it, it it stayed there.
Yeah.
From we're talking from I was like 15, like picking CXC subjects and realizing that, boy, I guess it's me alone really want to do this, and feeling the loneliness of having a calling like that, you know, but then learning to stick with it. And I think over time, I learned that once I'm once I'm getting closer to God, then just that strength and confidence and faith to see it through
Mm.
has been helpful along the way.
So from a longer time, you wanted
From
to be a singer,
or just wanted to be in music.
music.
As I got older, I realized that it would be singing, but as I said, there was no straight path to it because I didn't know what to do to get there. 'Cause even
Hmm.
when I told my parents that, hey, Chris, I, I told them, hey, I want to be a singer. This is when I was probably like 18. They'll be like, what are you talking about? You don't even sing.
Wow.
And I think as much as it may not seem so right now, I think my life is a testament that God can use anybody. As I said, trust me, it was something I was definitely afraid of.
Yes.
But I think that's how God works sometimes, because at the same time, those are the things that you really care about. You care about doing it the right way.
Right.
And that was me. And I just, pray that strength to continue stewarding everything in the right way.
In the right way. All right. So since they said, hello, you don't even sing. What was the reaction when they realized that you went ahead, you recorded, was it an entire album? Your first
So
EP?
so by that time they would have known. So by that time they would have known, and I think it was a matter of kind of just watching me and be like, okay, what is this going to turn out to be? Because it was a whole 4-year process of doing that EP. Myself and the producer Jalen. It was a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of scrapping things, re-recording, thinking we're done, then I have to do it again, then
Oh,
spending off my work bonus for pay for this and that and that, and I think that process was what showed them that I was actually serious.
serious. Okay. Now, how did you learn to play the piano?
As I said, that was a thing they recognized from early, that I could play by ear, but then they signed me up for classes. So fun fact, so Dennis Rushton was my first piano teacher. Um,
Okay.
yeah, Dennis. Every now and I get to see him, and I'll remind him that he was my first piano teacher. Then others along the way. But yeah, that was how I started to learn.
Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about Brighter Days. What was the process like, in writing that song? And how long did it take you?
Well, so brighter days. So it was different stages of it, because the words themselves didn't take very long. Um, that was probably the words itself probably took a few minutes to write, because if you check it out, it's not very long of a song. Matter of fact, I had some other verses with it and stuff, and I kind of just scrapped it because it just felt like the prayer part of it was the part that I could go with. Am I still on this call?
I'm not seeing
Okay.
you. I'm seeing you now.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry about that. Could you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, yeah. I was saying, what took long was actually making it, the recording process of it and stuff like that. Because so this is the first song that I have done the full process with. So recording it, mixing it, the vocal processing, everything on it was me for the first time because I just starting to get my home studio set up and stuff like that. But it was a long process of understanding what to do on the computer. You know, I had to learn the program along the way. And that was a task in itself. So it's a 1 minute song, it's a 1 minute interlude, but that's definitely a few days of work of being really at it for like 3 days straight trying to understand everything.
Wow. About how many songs have you recorded or released so far, Chris?
Um, that I've released so far, I want to say maybe about like 26, but
26.
then no songs that I haven't released as yet or working on to release soon. You're looking at about like a 30 more, you know.
Wow. 30
Yeah,
more?
30 more.
So, the 30 more in addition to the
in,
20.
in, in addition to what's already out, I work on a lot of music. I work on a lot of
Wow.
music. Like I always
Wow.
writing something, yeah.
So,
I have a lot of
Chris,
music.
no man. You can launch several albums
Yeah,
easily.
definitely. Because I take music as a real practice. As I said, my introduction to music was seeing people doing it every day. You
Yeah.
know, so I kind of have that approach that this is something that you just keep doing and keep practicing.
Mm. All right. Well, we're talking about the songs you've released so far. Out of all of those 20 something songs that you've recorded and released, tell me a top five.
Mm. All right, these are the five that usually if somebody called me on a show
Sure,
and them
you can
say
see.
five song, I'm going to do these songs.
All right.
So you have Take on the Street. I always
A
do
song
those.
that you know.
Then you have Army of Light. I do that a lot. Um, Graveyard Shift. I do that a lot. You have a song called Always There, but I do it
That's
unlike,
I
huh?
know that song. I used to play that song all the time when I do Sunday showcase. I'm not sure if anybody say, you know, I always hear that song that I love on Sundays. Always there. It's such an encouraging song.
Thank you. And these days when I do it, I do it over like a different reggae rhythm. I usually do it over prison over rock rhythm these days.
Oh,
I do it with like a medley and stuff like that. It's such a good song to get people going.
yes.
Um, and I would say the fifth one that I usually do, I would say Cool and Easy. Cool and
Cool
Easy.
and
That's a
easy.
Yeah, man. That's a love song that I really enjoy singing as well. And it's such a classic reggae song that it usually works in spaces.
Ah, wow, wow. I can't tell you something. If it's nice like Suppligen. I don't like
What?
getting smooth
Like
like
something dread.
you know, Suppligen just nice and smooth and silky when you never hear the one there yet.
I've never heard that.
You know, active with the pressure the board and you can't chew it up and it's nice. That's my favorite meal is I love
Thank
oxtail.
you very much.
Miss come through the oxtail voice and the supplicant voice. Hello, hello, hello. All right, Chris. All right, Chris. Full of talent. And we did not know that you could play the piano until today. Well, me, let me say me. And some of them, I'm sure them never know.
I need to get back onto it and be more consistent, but that's definitely my foundation with the music.
When last have you played?
So, my problem now, we did have a keyboard, I'm gonna send it for fix and it can't fix all now.
I
And
know.
for a couple of years now I don't get to replace it. So it's been a while since I really get to spend time on the keyboard. It's been a long time. It's been
You
a
know,
while. It breaks my heart sometimes. I need a new one.
you've got to link me off here and tell me who you send it to so me can link that person there and buy them up here.
Boy,
All right. If In the godly way, of course. Glory to God. Now, Chris, in a world full of trends, how do you stay grounded to your true voice and message?
Um, I would say so. While I understand that, external validation is important, I'm not gonna say something that I don't care about. Um, I try to keep grounding in the fact that I really do believe that I'm doing God's work. In every way, in the sense that, and I say it like that because if you check my catalog, you're not going to only see gospel music. You're going to see a array of different topics. But in everything that I sing, I'm very intentional about it in terms of putting out a certain message, putting out a certain wholesomeness and substance. And I try to lead with that first. You know, I'm the type of person who I'll change one line in a song because let myself, okay, this might send the wrong message, you know, because I really believe that it's about what you're building over time. It's about it's really about, I believe music is something that you speak into people's souls when you speak, when you're singing in music, because that's the way how that works. And with that understanding of it, I really try to be intentional in every part of it that I do. So I think that's what keeps me from not just chasing the trends. And sometimes just when them say, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord is like,
Yes.
I believe that even when things might not make sense right now, you know, all things work out for all things work out for good for they that work according to His purpose. And I really try to grow myself in that if it going to take 5 years, if it going to take 10 years, it must make sense eventually, and I really try to lead with that. And then when I'm more grounded in that, then I don't feel the pressure so much to be chasing trends and just to be doing every little thing that to make yourself relevant, because I don't think that's worth it in the end.
Beautiful. Beautifully said, Chris. Beautifully said. Now you're learning more about reggae music, and that's intentional. What inspired that shift, and how do you see your sound evolving within the genre?
Um, how do I see my sound evolving in the genre? So it's two things. One is the sound, but it's deeper than just a sound. But to answer your question directly, sound wise, I see myself as somebody who will make good Jamaican based music, meaning the culture of Jamaican music is so wide. In reggae music alone, you have so many genres in reggae music, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes.
You'll find pop in reggae, hip hop in reggae, gospel in reggae, and it's I used to sometimes it's easy to think of reggae as something that's limiting until you look at the whole spectrum of what reggae music offers, and you realize that it's just a way of communicating culturally. So as I see somebody, I see myself as somebody in reggae who will be very, very fluid in the different sounds that I may use and the ways that I may communicate, but it should still connect in a very uniquely Jamaican way, But deeper than the sound, though, I find my perspective and narrative as an artist that I believe has a potential to really make a mark on the space, because my whole perspective is to make music that speaks to the whole universal human experience, but from a place that is grounded in faith and biblical principles and kingdom principles and stuff like that, but in different spectrums. So as I say, I sing about many different topics of music in different topics in my music, but it's all about where is that coming from, because as humans we live all of life, but Somebody said it to me that I'll never forget it. He said everything is sacred for the Christian, meaning in whatever you do, we don't have the choice to just be frivolous and to separate life and compartmentalize. Everything that you do is supposed to speak to just a godly life, a life of worship, even in spaces that may not be strict church spaces, even when you're not strictly talking about Jesus all the time. Whatever you do must be intentional and giving glory to God. And that is where my music comes from. And I believe that as that develops, I see the potential of that being impactful.
Yes. Wonderful. And you said you have about 30 plus songs coming out. So that means how much albums you're looking at, Chris. Come make a talk about upcoming projects them. Come over here, so come make a talk.
For now, I would say those 30 songs consist of two albums that I'm working on, as well as just some different singles and juggling rhythms with different producers and stuff like that. But that's why it's so much, because I think the COVID time was a very productive time when me and Jalen.
Oh, hold on. It's COVID. Below, why you the productive during COVID time? Since COVID time, you make all of these
No, no,
songs.
I think it was through COVID time that I started to figure out my rhythm of making music. Meaning,
Oh,
meaning me and JLL would link up a lot,
you're
and we
right.
found that we could make songs in 1 and 2 sessions and stuff like that, and I really have ideas down, until things get to the point where, usually if a new producer link me, I'll do 1 or 2 or 3 songs with them, and that's why it's so much, because
Okay.
I'm working with different people, and then catch a vibe, and then things grow and grow and grow till I look back and I'm like, wow, this is a lot of music we have here.
What does a student session look like for you?
Well, fun fact, a lot of my songs aren't written in the studio, so I should start with that. I've written a couple songs in studio, but generally, I'm the type of person who write in my own time, take my
Yeah.
time and write, and then come and record. So in those studio sessions, it's just figuring out the melodies and the harmonies and making sure that are singing things with the right emotion and delivery, because that's important to the whole storytelling of it all. So and I think my studio sessions tend to be very focused as well, you know. And I dance a lot in my studio session for some reason.
Oh,
I don't
you
really
can
dance.
dance?
No, that's the interesting part of it. But I
Okay.
find that in a lot of my studio sessions, I tend to dance intensely. I'll do that just because I just feel free in that creative space, but not so much everywhere else. But that's a fun fact in my session.
So what kind of dance you do now, Chris?
Listen, any kind of movement, me tell him I can't do it now, I can't do it under pressure. I have to feel comfortable.
What's your all right, okay. Now, when we plan to release these albums, do you have the names for the albums, Chris?
Um, the names are there. Not ready to share them just yet.
No
Um,
problem.
but I'm definitely working on an album to release sometime next year.
Next year.
Um, hopefully, I don't want the second half of next year to catch me and the album not out yet. You know,
Mm,
I getting things together to do. But of course, it can be a challenge sometimes doing it pretty much fully independently and self-funded. Um, so that's gonna be that's always a challenge to overcome. But I've been working steadily on it, and I think by next year we should definitely have something out.
wonderful. And
I'm
you
s-
mentioned, go ahead, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, no, no. You can go.
You mentioned also that you have some singles working on and them something there.
Hmm.
Right. So the singles probably come out before the album, maybe? Or
So it may be a mixture of things. So there's a few juggling rhythms that I probably had from last year or the year before, and I'm still coming out. For instance, I just released that one called Yet Another Day with natural hair music. Some producers I work with, and you have a lot of good talent on that. So like Tessan is on it, Richie Spice, and but my song is really nice. I actually think if you could find it, it would be fitting to play actually. And Love 101. Because thank God for yet another day. That's the message of the song. But I just say that as an example in terms of that's a song that I think I recorded that with them probably early last year, and it's just coming out now. Um,
Oh, it's just
and
coming out. No.
yeah, so now a lot of my juggling rhythms that may come up in probably like the next few months. A lot of them have similar things, whereas like one coming out in January, I did that last year as well, you know. And that's the thing where you just kind of stuck up on songs until the producer said, "Okay, ready now." And that may kind of some of them may come out at the same time as the album because that's a whole different set of songs, you know. So next year lining up to be an interesting year, I think.
Okay, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
In 3 words: soulful, authentic, um, purpose driven.
Ah, love it. For those who are just joining us, I'm talking with Chris Malachi. It's 3:33. We're live on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube. So if you missed it, you can just go ahead and rewatch it. All right. So let's talk about Tech on Street. It's one of my favorites. And I feel like everybody just loves that song here, you know? And but here, so you do jazz on them, something there. So I'm
Yeah.
challenging you to jazz up Tech on Street. The mic is yours.
All right. You can do something named acapella jazz.
You want rhythm? Not the rhythm now. Not the
you,
rhythm
you, you have rhythm?
now. Not the you want me fed or rhythm?
Can me I go to acapella jazz? That something go so?
You know, music is an art. If you don't got, you can create it, don't it? Let me see if I can find one jazz instrument. No, then probably I go copyright me something.
Oh God.
Jazz.
So it's like
Hold on. Let's see what we can do. Jazz instrumental, but not even know you know, cause all right. What is this? Chris, it's not even got a couple lights. Hold on, Mrs. Something I probably can use. But the mirror got too slow. All right. You want socks in there or what? I don't know.
anything. The first one you're fine.
All right, the first one. Ready?
All
All right,
right.
sit here. I never hear this one. I never okay. I hear it, right?
Can't hear a thing.
You not hear it?
Not a thing.
Well, yeah, I forgot a couple like then. Sister,
All right. So as they move, we a move on a tech on street. So we a move on a tech on street, alright then. We have to keep a show in the transport center. Clean music, so the youth them talent. Then we have to keep a stage show down a market. Show them second one cock a full basket. And then with the ugly park, then we have to reach all if me have to walk on our worries. And we step in up a pin. Love one away and we are rock out the scene. Alright. We got the down street and I mean,
security! Lord of mercy! Listen to me, the man. Chris Malachi. On Love 101 right here. So, he just jazzed up Tech on Street.
I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
as much as you could.
As much as he could, but you know, he did it justice. Couldn't find the instrumental, but you know, he a cappella did. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, what legacy do you hope to leave as both a musician and a messenger, Chris, as we wrap?
Um, don't the legacy I would like to leave is just one of boldness and authenticity. One that says, you know, don't be afraid to forge a new path. You know, don't be afraid to stick to your guns and stick to your purpose. Um, even if you may have to do so much work and build so many things for that to work. I believe if you're doing it for just the benefit of people in general, it 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 will make sense as you go forward. And I would want more artists to understand the value of that and understand the power that they hold as musicians. That's the impact I would want to have.
Beautiful. How can we connect with you on socials, and how can we book you? You know, you know, say go on and go out with yourself, but we book you for concerts and events and them something there, Chris.
All right, so that's so on all social media platforms you can find me at Chris Malachi. That's it. CHRISMALACHI. It's just my name on everywhere. And you can book me. Just email me the details at chrismalachimusic@gmail.com. Everything spelled correctly, very simple. But once you type in Chris Malachi on the internet, it's pretty easy to find me from there because I'm the
Ah,
only Chris Malachi on the internet.
isn't that lovely? That is
It's so lovely. I
amazing.
want I want to tell you, say I'm so that's one of them little blessings that I thank God for, that all of my social media platforms everywhere is Chris Malachi.
I love that. And we can stream your songs. How?
And everywhere you find music.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chris Moya, give me something what me never hear yet. Just a little piece. If you can. Because we know so sometimes, I know it works sometimes.
All right.
Give me a piece of
So
something.
all right, so this is something you never hear yet because it just come out. This is Yet Another Day.
Oh.
Yesterday was hard and the night was long, but me thank God for yet another day. And the Lord is a lot, but you make me strong. Yes, thank God for yet another day. And the storm is on, but I'm holding on. You are right here with me all along. So I thank you, I thank you. Thank God for yet another day. Every morning I rise is a new surprise. I know somebody knows that. I'm grateful for the light inside my eyes. Somebody's really watching out for me. I got stories for days. Life is such a miracle in so many ways. We make a lot of rough days and enough mistakes, but still I overcame.
Oh,
That's it.
beautiful. Yet another day. Thank you so much, Chris Malachi, for sharing your story and journey and singing, jazzing up what you could jazz up over there with Take On Street. Thank you so much, Chris. Blessings to you. And we're looking forward to your albums and your singles and the
Thank you so
collaborations with
much.
them. You're welcome. And keep up the great job,
Blessings.
the great work.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you soon.
You will see me soon
All
on a
right.
stage near you.
On a stage coming soon to a stage
Coming
near you.
soon.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
All right.
All right.
Reach all if me have to walk and I worries. Me step in a pop in. Do we and you take rock and come in. Oh Lord, me a take a street. Move we